Hi, welcome to the Abyss Tarot T.A.T. So today we are on day 22 of your 31 days of Halloween tarot messages. So the number 22 um, does talk about balance, but not just balance, it talks about spiritual balance. And to me, I always associate the number 2 with Libra. So maybe you're a Libra or dealing with a Libra, or it's just the energy of again wanting balance in things. So the number is about things coming into balance, spiritual balance, but it also talks about your intuition and you kind of doing what you feel guided to do, what your intuition is telling you to do. um it talks about growth, and trusting that your path is going to align. So it's interesting because I feel like the card, the challenge card that always comes out, always matches up with the number, like the day that it is. So being that today is 22, the card that came out today is card 18, Vasilisa the Brave, and it's courage. 18 breaks down to a 9, 9 the number of completion. So anyway, so this card, we'll get into it right now, but it is about kind of a coming of age and trusting your intuition. And again, 2 is balance, spiritual balance, but it's also strength, trusting yourself, and that inner strength, which is very important, that you understand and know that you have it, that it's always there, and always trust it. It's there. Okay. But we'll get into that right now. So let's go ahead and get into your comfort card. We are going to do 2 cards for you to choose from. And let's see. Okay. Card 1 can be this one. Let's do card 2. This top one can be card 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some charms on here. So let's get a charm for card 1. Let's see what this is. Oh, a spider. Okay. Card 1 is going to be a spider. Okay. Card 2 now. Let's see. What is this? A dragonfly. Wow. Okay. Card 2 is a dragonfly. So card 1 spider. Card 2 a dragonfly. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into your challenge card of the day. Okay. So it is card 18, breaking down to a 9, 9 the number of completion. So closing out a cycle. And Vasilisa, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Vasilisa the Brave. Courage. Now the name, I think it is Russian. This is a Russian story. And it does mean like Empress, Queen type energy. So this story, what I like about this story that is that Baba Yaga is also in this story, and Baba Yaga is also like she's like known to be like a witch, a hag. And this story does talk, does kind of have elements of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And Baba Yaga is a crone; she is a hag. So I like that she's in this story. There's a lot of stories of Baba Yaga, and this is one of them. So this girl here, her mother dies, and Vasilisa, right? Her mother dies and her father remarries. Isn't that always the story, right? Ain't that a beat? So her father remarries a woman who already has 2 daughters that are older than her. So she ends up, becoming the youngest in the family. And her stepmother and her 2 stepsisters do not like her at all. They're always making her do a lot of chores, work really hard, almost like a Cinderella type story. And so her father goes away on work, business, whatever. He's gone for a long time. So her stepmother devises a plan to get rid of her. She doesn't like her because as she's getting older, becoming a teen, getting older, she's becoming more attractive. And there's a lot of people in the town, guys especially, that notice her. They want to be with her, they want to marry her. And the stepmother ends up becoming really pissed off. And she's like, she's not about to become married before my daughters, especially because she's like the youngest one, right? So the stepmother's like, oh, that'll be embarrassing for her, right? That the youngest one gets married, who's her stepdaughter, and her 2 oldest daughters, who are already, becoming hags, I guess you could say, they're not getting married. Nobody wants them. But because she's so pretty, it's like all the guys are interested in her. So when her dad goes out of town, she ends up sending her out to the forest a lot, to like out into the woods, to do all these chores, like, oh, go do this, go do that. But the reason she does that is because she's hoping that she's going to run into Baba Yaga, and Baba Yaga is going to get her. That's what the stepmother is hoping for. But it doesn't turn out that way. She keeps coming home, right? Because she doesn't run into Baba Yaga. She keeps coming home. And the stepmother's like, what the hell? Like, I'm sending her out to the woods every day, having her do these crazy chores, and Baba Yaga doesn't seem to find her or get her. So finally, she ends up saying, okay, you know what? You need to go get me fire, and I need the fire from Baba Yaga's house. So you got to go to her house and bring me this fire. And this girl's like, okay, I'll go do it. She's unaware that her stepmother wants her unalive. So she's like, okay, I'll go do it. So she's like always every day doing her chores that the stepmother sends her to do. This is the one chore she sends her to go, to Baba Yaga's house. She's like, this is a sure way Baba Yaga is gonna see her, find her, and get her. And there's a lot of things here to look at, like with the fire representing that fire within you, that fire, that light within you, that power within you, within her that she didn't realize. So it's kind of like the stepmom sent her to go look for the fire at Baba Yaga's house, but the fire is really within her that she's actually going to look for. That's a fire within her she has to find, and she has to find that at Baba Yaga's house, which Baba Yaga again is the crone. She's the hag. So we go from maiden, she's the maiden, mother crone. The crone is going to give her that fire. So, anyways, she goes to Baba Yaga's house to ask for the fire, and Baba Yaga's like, okay, I'm not just giving you any fire. You gotta work for it. You gotta do some chores here. And she ends up, doing everything Baba Yaga asked her to do. So another thing was that the girl, before her mother passed, her mother made her this doll that she always had with her. And this doll actually did everything for her. She did all her chores. The doll talked to her too, gave her a lot of encouragement. And so the doll had her mother's voice in it, and it gave her a lot of guidance. So here is the mother, because again, Vasilisa, whatever her name is, she's the maiden. The doll represents her mother, which, mother, and then Baba Yaga, the old lady, the old witch, is the crone. So we have maiden, mother, and crone, and she always listens to the guidance from the doll, which is her mother's voice. The her mother left her this doll before passing. Um, so again, it's all together. It's all parts of her, though. Not only is the doll mother part of her, but so is the crone, Baba Yaga, part of her too. It's all her. It's all within, right? All three are you at different times. So, anyways, Baba Yaga tells her, like, you're able to do everything. How do you do everything? And she says, oh, because it's actually the doll that does it. The doll does all my chores for me. The doll did everything. And so she says, I've been blessed with this doll. And Baba Yaga's like, well, I don't accept any blessings or anybody that has blessings, so you got to go. So she sends the girl, she kicks the girl out of her house. She's like, you can't be in here, with these blessings and stuff like that. She kicks her out, but when she kicks her out, she does give her a skull that has lights coming out of it so she can see her way through the dark. So Baba Yaga's like, look, here, take this skull as a flashlight, basically. And again, that skull, that bone, that connection, right, is going to also lead the way. It's going to light the way for her. So there's a lot of little things you got to pick up in this story. So she doesn't want the skull. She's like, I'm just going to toss it. And the skull also talks and tells her, that wouldn't be a good idea. Actually, take me home with you. Like, just take me home. So she ends up using the skull, and his eyes light up and he lights the way, and she goes home. And when she goes home, the skull ends up like shooting fire from its eyes or something like that. And he burns like the house down, and he basically gets rid of the stepmother and the two stepsisters. And so there's different versions of the story where she ends up kind of like moving to another town, getting a job sewing, and she's so good at it that it impresses the king. She marries him and then becomes a queen, which again, the name Vasilisa means queen or empress in Russian. So there's that version, and then there's another version where she basically just kind of goes and gets her own home and does her own thing, and lives her life like that, kind of happily ever after on her own. But that's kind of a different version too, where it's like a woman alone, what, a woman without a man, and she doesn't become a queen or a princess, doesn't marry the king, because most stories are like that. So there is like different versions of her, and there's different tales of her, and also with Baba Yaga. So very interesting, but I do like that the number 22, again, it's like that spiritual power, that strength, that balance, you finding that balance within yourself. Baba Yaga also being seen as somebody that could be a villain, or she could be somebody that is like motherly, mother earth energy, and again, the hag, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, that type of energy. So again, Baba Yaga is also like a representation and part of you, me, all of us, right? It's like different almost versions of ourself, but it's still ourself. It's still us. So, anyways, I really like that. That's the challenge here is kind of trusting that light within you to lead you, to guide you out of these situations. But let's go ahead and see what it says here in the book. Here it is. Okay. Vasilisa the brave, courage. Don't be frightened, Vasilisa, and do not be sad, for the morning is wiser than the evening. Lie down and sleep, and tomorrow you will feel much better. Vasilisa felt all her sadness slipping away from her as she fell asleep. This beautiful fairy tale is a message of great courage, of light and darkness, and of how entering into the darkness and into the realm of the crone can result in great rewards if you keep a quiet, still center. Vasilisa is a young woman whose sisters demand undertake a truly frightening quest. Fortunately, although her sisters bear her no love, she has with her a magical doll within which is the voice of her mother and part of her spirit. And this doll speaks to Vasilisa whenever she feels the need to get her mother's guidance and wisdom. And she takes this doll and her courage into a situation where she confronts the great archetype. Okay, of the crone. Yeah, and again, that these are all archetypes. These are all parts of ourselves, where she confronts the great archetype of the crone. After fulfilling many tasks without complaint or demur, she is rewarded with the light which she sought. So, yeah, so the Baba Yaga does reward her. This tale of Vasilisa has two names. Sometimes Vasilisa the Brave, sometimes Vasilisa the Wise, and there's also one Vasilisa the Beautiful. But yeah, there's different versions. Um, but it is all about honoring the mother, Vasilisa's mother, the maiden, Vasilisa, and the crone, which is Baba Yaga. And while her sisters feel they need to have sent her to a sure death. In fact, they have sent her to the place where she will learn the most. So when you receive this card, know that there is deep motherly love for and with you. It may not be from a literal mother, but there is wisdom, women's wisdom, which has been given to you and which can sustain you. The feminine ancestral line is strong and of great comfort to you. A mother, grandmother, or female ancestor guides you in visions and dreams. It is yours alone, and only you can hear the voice of the mother, the goddess within. When you enter the darkness, know that you can carry with you the voice of wisdom within, and it will be available for you when you most need it. And again, like I said, with the number 22, that's exactly what that is. That is like balance of that spiritual wisdom that is within. It's kind of like understanding what's going on out here in the world and what you have to do, but also knowing that that spiritual light and wisdom within is what's going to kind of guide you through and get you through these situations here on earth. Okay. It is available to you when you need it the most. Listen to this, and it will be available when you most need it. Okay. And know that you are the one who will return with light, and the situation that once troubled you so much will be transformed. Meaning, courage and comfort from darkness, the greatest light is shown. Guidance from ancestors. A difficult time creates much wisdom. You will pass any test put before you. Do your best, and you will do more than enough. A time of separation from old family or friends, a time of new beginnings. The way forward becomes clear. Elders will teach you wisdom. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like I said, to me, the number two is also it's strength, right? It's Libra, and being that it's okay, and being that it's 2-2, it's like the arms of like when they're showing muscles strength, it's like two arms showing strength to me, the number twos, 2-2s. So it's like you showing those muscles, but it's that inner muscle, that inner strength. And it's definitely that feminine energy too. It's that strong feminine energy, whether you're a female or not. Um, Also, the number two to me is the swan. Swan medicine, which is very beautiful medicine. And so I love working with animal medicine. So the swan medicine, it's very healing, very beautiful, very graceful. And we know the story of the ugly duckling who transforms into the beautiful swan. So it is that kind of that shift, that transformation, and that knowing that you're on that path to transform into something beautiful. There's this light, even if you're in the darkness, there's this light that is going to shine. And again, it's that internal spiritual light. There's that balance coming out. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get into your comfort card. Now, if you chose the spider, which is very interesting, right? The spider, kind of like that dark energy. Also, communication here could be online communication with people or somebody, or maybe a mother or a feminine mother figure, older figure. But there is communication, and also communication with you and your spirit guides, like how the story is about ancestral feminine spirit. So there could be a connection with you with that. It could also be seeing spiders as your sign, as your symbol, that there is this feminine spirit watching over you, guiding you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your comfort card. Wow, 36 breaking down to a 9. And this card is 18 breaking down to a 9. So that is perfect. 9, the number of completion. Okay. It says faith, trust, unwavering, and confidence. Look at that. And this whole card, I mean, this message here with this Vasilisa is about faith. It is about confidence. It is about trusting. So let's go ahead and read what faith is here for you. 36. Let's see. There it is. Okay. All right. Faith. Let empires speak. The belief that something will take place or is right or is a particular way can be called faith. Faith is quiet and hopeful, offers contentment and calm, and is not bravado, and it need not insist on its rightness. Faith is something we have to, and we observe in the best of those we call humans, the warm blooded ones, of whom you are one. It is a beautiful gift that you humans have. To be believers is this quiet, gentle way. Faith is not always beautifully expressed. Faith is a loving, amazing quality, but it must be attached to something that is worthwhile. When this card arrives at your door, it is best to examine what is it that you have faith in. What is faith to you? Were you taught faith as a child and that you lose faith at one point? For you are often taught to believe in things that do not deserve your faith. It may now be time to relearn what it is you have been enduring constant hope for. What you know will come to be, even if your eyes may never see it. And we know about faith, the persistent notion that all will be well in time. For we live with this faith. Without it, we would be dead inside. The human spirit has faithfulness at its core, at its best. And again, the number 22 is about that. Okay, have faith is to remain loyal, but in a truly heartfelt way, tender, forward, and full of grace. Your faith may soon return to you. Choose wisely in what you place this gift of your faith. Blessing. Your faith returns, and you feel a true connection and comfort in your choices and plans. They are supported by the energy of the universe. Working with this card, if you have lost faith in a person, project, or humanity itself, it is time to examine the source of your faith. Know that it can be revived at this time. You may choose where you place this most beautiful and tender of faith. Yes, because that is from you, right? Where are you placing it? And I mean, she's kind of holding the heart, kind of reminds me of that image of Jesus with the sacred heart. And she has that heart, and there's a keyhole here to insert the key. And again, you have the key. You have the key to open this. Where's your faith, your belief? Where are you feeling guided towards? You definitely do have that strong feminine connection. Okay, so for those of you who chose comfort card number 2, the dragonfly here, I love that too. The dragonfly is illumination. It is lighting the way. Again, with the number 22 and with the story of Vasilisa the Brave. It's that illumination, that guidance. It's definitely faith also. Okay, so we have hope. Oh my gosh. So we have faith and hope. Are you kidding me? That is so perfect. 43 breaking down to a 7. Anticipation, bright prospects, and wish. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Okay, 43. Let's see what 43 has to say. 42, 43. And I grabbed the wrong book again. I'm like, what? I'm like, that doesn't align. Okay, 43. Oh, wow. I opened it right on 43. Okay, so we have hope. Le Vampire speaks. This little creature is small. A vampire with a heart and soul is surrounded by death, by endings, by sadness, by the void. And by those who have left her, like you, she is facing the darkness within others and within life. And she feels utterly alone. But what she has within her is the ability to hope. And she chooses this. It is not something that is always easy, but she has lit a candle in the deep darkness upon a heap of skulls and nothing else. And she has struck a light and held up the light. She is quietly defiant in the face of death, of change, of silence, loneliness, of criticism, and a great dilemma. If this card finds you at this time, you are being asked to rise above those who are giving into hopelessness and negativity. It does not ask you to be falsely hopeful or to put on a happy face and refuse to face what must be faced. It asks you to be hopeful. You do not know the outcome. You do not yet know what will happen next. But what you can be sure of is that this hope that you have the capacity to create will sustain you in a time of great difficulty. Keep it strong, quiet, even small. Face what you must face. Do what must be done, and know that yes, this situation is very difficult, no doubt. No doubt about it. But we vampires ask you to know that one of the most beautiful and life affirming things any of us can do is refuse to give in. And not only that, but to do what must be done with hope. That light will attract help, intervention, assistance, and our admiration and respect, which in turn will deliver more assistance. You know there is some optimism you can create. You know you are the bearer of the torch, of the light. Oh my gosh, that light, right? Internal light, though. Okay, in this circumstance. And you know this hope will warm, inspire, and nurture others. Lighten up the world you are within. Strike the light and watch the shadows and dangers recede the corners. Keep the flame burning. Wow. Blessing. Your ability to create possibilities in a seamless, hopeless and difficult situation brings out the best in others, which has some strong ripple effect. You have manifested change through this hopefulness. Yeah, your hope is definitely going to change the outcome of things. Okay, working with this card, you will soon have hope, which will make whatever is taking place at the moment easier to bear. This hardship is impermanent, and tomorrow will be better. Absolutely believe that. Absolutely. I always say, tomorrow's another day, right? So even if today's not going right, so what? Keep pushing. You have the light. You have the light within you, even if there's darkness around. Okay, so keep pushing. And you know what? And then with the dragonfly, it's light, it's illumination, it's clarity. It's being able to change through difficulties with the dragonfly. So wow, this goes so perfect with this card and the spider with the faith. I mean, like every day these messages just all connect, right? All the dots seem to connect. So anyways, that is the message for today. I hope this message resonates. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.